Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my May perfume tray. So let's start by going over April's and how I did. Let's start with Georges Dama Bianca. I made a pretty good dent in here. I wore this a lot. This is one of my most worn fragrances for the month of April. It's beautiful, it's light, it's refreshing, it's got like really soft vanilla and woody notes blended into it. The purple florals give it this powdery, lush feel. Absolutely beautiful fragrance. And I think great for spring, and I'm gonna keep wearing it into summer to see how it goes. It's very, again, like I said, light and refreshing. I'm curious to see how this performs once it's aged a bit and the vanilla has had a chance to develop in it. But this was lovely. I'm so glad to have it in my collection, and I definitely am going to look forward to keeping on wearing this throughout the year. The next one, let's do Bottega Veneta. This is a little 1 ounce bottle. I got this on Amazon for like 50 bucks, I think. This smells really good. I have compared this to Christian Dior's Gris Dior, and I will hold true to that comparison. They don't smell exactly the same. Gris Dior has rose in it, and Bottega Veneta has a leather note that the Gris Dior doesn't have, so there are differences, but the overall vibe and kind of scent family is the same. I will say this is beautiful. I love the way it smells. You get that kind of, earthy opening. And then as all the notes come in here, it softens up. The leather comes in. It's very classy, very elegant, very sexy in my opinion. But the performance is abysmal. You can, not that I couldn't smell it after a few hours, I could, but barely. I started having to just overspray it to see if that would help at all, and it didn't really. This is new, so maybe it will get better as it ages, but I'm not that optimistic because I've heard other people say that the performance is not great. But I did put a pretty good dent in it. But I will continue to wear this. I'm not sure yet if this was something I would repurchase, but it does smell fantastic. If the performance was better, this would definitely be one I'd go and rush out to buy a big bottle of as a backup. Let's move on to some of the little ones. So this is the Nest Lychee Rose. This is just a little roller ball sample I got from my Sephora rewards. Smelling it from the bottle, it's light, it's refreshing. You can smell the rose and the lychee. So it's sweet and it's fruity, but the rose is fresh. It's absolutely beautiful. On my skin, it doesn't smell exactly the same way. It still smells good. It smells nice. But I think it smells better from the bottle than it does on my skin. That could just be my chemistry. And I actually only wore this twice. I completely forgot about it because it was so little. It just kind of like fell to the back. So I will continue to wear this and test it out. But if I think about other rose and lychee fragrances that I have in my collection, just other rose fragrances I have in my collection, I don't know that this would be one I'd reach for, but it smells so good from the bottle. So I will continue to test it out and see. Because again, maybe it's just because it's new. Maybe it's the roller ball. Those can get a little wonky after a while because you're literally rubbing them onto your skin. So you're depositing whatever's on your skin into the fragrance. But man, out of the bottle, it smells fantastic. Definitely one I recommend to go and sample in Sephora and wherever else it's sold. If you're looking for a rose fragrance, but you want something that smells, a little more modern and fresh, I think this is a good one. Then let's move on to Kayali's Eden Sparkling Lychee. I thought I was going to love this, and I should have known better. I don't hate it. It smells good. I don't like it as much as I thought I would, but the notes kind of just screamed, this was made just for you. But it was not made just for me. And I could be a skin chemistry thing. But when I wear it by itself, I find it a little too cloying. So what I will probably do is the same thing I've done with the Eden Sparkling Apple, which is layered on top of something. Eden Sparkling Apple is not a fragrance I wear on its own, and I thought I would really love it because of the notes, right? Fruity florals. I was like, that's easy, right? No problems. I'm going to love it. Did not, a little too cloying and sweet for me. But when I wear Kayali Vanilla or Deja Vu, and then sometimes this fragrance right here, I'll sprinkle just a little bit of the Eden Juicy Apple on top, and then it is perfection. So I'm going to play around with this one and some layering combinations and see if it does the same thing, because I think on top of denser, richer, fruity fragrances, this little kind of pop of sweet brightness could complement it really well. But just on its own, I'm very glad I did not go out and buy the 100 ml bottle without smelling it first. This little one I think is going to last me a very long time. Again, smell it for yourself, because everybody's skin chemistry is different. And so if you like super sweet, fruity, juicy fragrances, I think you will love this one. And then I also had Kayali's Elixir 11 on here. And again, another one, doesn't smell bad, but this is not one I'm going to wear on its own. I've layered it with a couple other things and it smelled fine, so I will keep it to layer with other things in the Kayali line. But this one, for me, something just, even smelling it from the bottle, it doesn't smell bad, but something about it just doesn't smell like a fragrance profile that I would kind of gravitate towards. So I only got 1 or 2 wears out of both those Kayalis, and then just kind of set them to the side because I was so focused on the other ones on my tray that I was loving so much more. So next one here is Lancome. This is the Idole Nectar. This is rose. I think there's a caramel popcorn note. This is really nice. So if you are looking to venture into rose fragrances and you're a little nervous about it because you've smelled some and they smelled really kind of vintage or a lot older and maybe from a completely different era than we're in now, I do recommend going and smelling a few different ones from the Idole line. I've tried the original one, which is nice. It reminded me of another fragrance I have in my collection that I love, so I didn't buy the full bottle. I just had to travel. This is the next one that I tried, and I loved that caramel popcorn edition in here, plus all the rose in here. So I got a little, I had a travel that I went through and this little 1 ounce bottle, or I think it might be a little less than 1 ounce. But it smells really good. It's fun, it's fruity, it's sweet, but not too cloying. It's great for springtime. I'm going to keep wearing it through the summer. It's an easy reach. I made a little bit of a dent in it. This is definitely one I recommend. And I'll probably, when this is done, maybe try 1 or 2 of the other ones that have come out in the past couple years. Oh my goodness. So sorry. So the next one I have here is Byredo Mojave Ghost. I made a pretty good dent in this one. This is the other one that I was getting the most wears out of. Oh, it smells so good. So this has a kind of pear note in the opening. I think it's like Sopadilla. I think that's how you say it. There's florals, purple florals. There's musk. This is a beautiful, fresh, musky, a little bit fruity fragrance that's great for, I wear year round. Maybe not in the winter because I like to wear heavier things. But this is great, especially now that spring and we're going into summer, you know, in a couple months. Oh, and it just smells so good. Every time I wear it, I just love it more and more. Get a sample if you can, because this one definitely seems to be dependent on body chemistry, how it's going to last on you. I get all day wear on this. I can smell it at the end of my workday after I spritz it on in the morning. I don't touch it up. It's not screaming, it's not projecting, you know, in a huge way, but I can smell it without like having to bury my nose into my arm. So for me, on my skin, it works really well and I really love it. This is one of my favorites and I will continue to reach for it throughout the spring and summer months. And then here we have Parfum de Marly. This is Cassili. This one I actually didn't reach for as much as I thought I would, but I did, and I know I'll continue to reach for it because I always do. I wear this one year round. But this has plum, this has floral notes. I believe there's a rose in here. It's a little fruity, it's a little bit juicy, it's a little sweet but not cloying, floral. This is a really nice offering from the house that doesn't get talked about as much as Delina does. But this was the first one from the house that I said, oh, I actually want to try that. I definitely liked it more than Delina. And I think I might still like it more than the original Delina. The La Rosée and Exclusive are my favorites, but Cassili is beautiful. And it layers great with Kayali's Vanilla and the Deja Vu and the Eden Juicy Apple. So I really love this one. Again, I find it great for year round because there's enough brightness and lightness in it to wear in the warm weather, but there's a little bit of kind of depth and sexiness in it. That's great for fall, date nights, brunch, any occasion. Beautiful fragrance. Then I have Maresque Seta. I wore this a couple of times, and I was curious to see how it, oh, it smells so good, how it would wear in the warmer weather. And it does smell different in the warmer weather than it does in the fall months. And it's this nice, warm, cozy, slightly spicy vanilla myrrh fragrance. The bottle is gorgeous, and that's what got me. So while I didn't reach for it much, oh wow, it smells so different this month than it smelled a couple months ago. And it's not because it's matured. It's like the warm weather has opened something up in here. I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to keep, trying it throughout the summer and kind of seeing how it goes. But I will say on my skin, the performance is not great. And this is something I've had for a while, so it's had a chance to kind of sit and get stronger. And the performance just isn't there, which makes it kind of nice for a bedtime scent because it's not going to like scream in your face and keep you awake all night. It's going to give you this nice, warm, soft, sweet kind of cozy vibe, which is great for bedtime. So maybe I'll try that as a bedtime scent and see, but I'm going to keep wearing it throughout the summer to kind of see how it changes with the warm weather. And then the last one from April is Royal Princess Oud from Creed. I actually got this on Mercari for a really good price. And this is definitely a pungent oud fragrance in the beginning. I'm not sure if it's real oud, but there's definitely that kind of oud vibe to it. But you have to let this sit on your skin because then the other notes come out. I believe there's purple florals in here as well. And they all kind of mesh together and you get this light, slightly sweet, almost kind of airy. Like the woody note gives it this like depth and allure to it, but there's this brightness and freshness it's a really lovely fragrance, but you do have to get past that kind of opening. Like I can smell all those good notes behind the initial blast of the woody notes. So this is one I put it on while I'm getting ready, and by the time I'm ready to head out the door, I'm into the mid of this fragrance, which is like the really good part. The performance wasn't great, but I'll keep on testing it out into the, summer months and see how it does. I haven't had it that long, and I've only really worn it when it was kind of chilly, and it's just now consistently warm. So we'll see if the warm weather plays with it and makes it perform a little better. But I'm glad to have this in my collection. It's a very, very beautiful fragrance. So let's talk about the first fragrance I'm putting on my tray for the month of May. I almost said June. It's May. So I have Atelier Cologne, Clementine, California. I've gone through so many small little vials of this, and so this bottle, it does have a pretty good dent in it, but I've had it for a while. I don't know. I mean, it still smells fantastic. I don't know if it's going to go bad, but I don't want it to. So I put this on my tray. I've already actually reached for it a couple times in the past week, and it smells so good. It's fresh, citrusy. There's like mandarin, there's clementine. I don't remember if there's bergamot in there, but there's woody notes. I believe there's vetiver, maybe cedarwood. I can't remember the other notes in here, but this is definitely, if you can get your nose on it and you like citrusy, fresh fragrances, give it a try. Completely unisex, good for men or women, and it smells so good, and it's great for the hot weather. It just really kind of cuts through and makes you smell good. I get compliments on it when I wear it, but also you don't feel heavy and it won't singe your nose. Great fragrance. The next one, because again, we're warming up and I'm going to be reaching more for fresh things, is Clean Reserve Skin. So I've got a little dent going in here, and this is because it's Clean Beauty. I know they probably go bad faster than regular fragrances. It smells so good. So this is a floral musky fragrance. So there's, I think, praline, there's salts, maybe some tonka, leather or suede in it. It really is one of those kind of skin but better fragrances. I love this. It's light, it's refreshing, it smells sexy, but not in a heavy, obvious type of way. So I'm really looking forward to wearing this more now that it's warming up, and I'm going to want to smell great, but I'm not going to want to smell heavily of perfume. Okay, the next one, let's see here. Let's reach for Balenciaga Florabotanica. So I have this little, what size is this? A 1 ounce? Yeah, 1 ounce version. I actually had a larger bottle a couple years ago. Made a little good dent in it, but then I stopped reaching for it. So I gave it away. But then I heard they were being discontinued. And I didn't feel the need to go out and get a whole new bottle, but I did want to get a little one. So I'm not sure if you can still find this. And if you can't, there's other fragrances out there that smell similar, that are fresh, but I have it in my collection, so I want to use it up. And the bottle is really cool. It is too bad that it was discontinued. And I remember hearing some really weird things about the brand. So I'm assuming we're not supporting the brand in 2024. I don't know. But this is a nice, fresh floral. I believe there's mint in this one too. And even though this fragrance is strong, this one projects almost beast mode status, but it still manages to work in the heat, I think because all the notes are so fresh, and I think that mint helps it a bit. So I'm looking forward to wearing this and just getting use out of it, because I don't want things sitting in my collection that I'm not using. If they're not being used, then they will be decluttered. The next one I'm going to put into my tray is by Louis Vuitton, and this is City of Stars. This is actually my fragrance of the day. This is a citrus white floral fragrance. Oh, it smells so good to me. So you have to like citrus. If you don't like citrus fragrances, I mean, that is what it is. It's citrus, and then the dry down is white floral. So there's a ton of citrus notes in here. I know that there's blood orange. I believe there's lime, maybe lemon. I'm not sure about bergamot, but it's possible there's clementine in here. There's quite a few different citrus notes in here, and you can smell them all together. And I love that. I love the way citrus smells. It just smells fresh and clean and juicy, which you get from here. And then the blood orange is an interesting, nice addition because it has, you know, that sweet juiciness, but, you know, blood orange can have that little bit of bitterness in there too. And then as it dries down, I believe there's tiare flower in here that brings in the white floral note. And then as they kind of dry down and mix together, you get a soft, sweet, powdery vibe to this. But I've also noticed it changes depending on the weather. There's some days where it's more citrus and just a strong citrus, and there's other days where the white floral kind of really shines through. So it's a warm day today. It's supposed to be low 90s. And it smells great. I'm still getting the citrus. I haven't really noticed much of the powdery white floral coming through just yet, but I've only had it on for like less than an hour, I think. So that's going to be on my tray because I need it to get some more wears and get some love. I always forget about it when it gets cold. The next one I'm going to put on my tray is Prada Paradoxe. This is one I talk about, and I'm always surprised by how good it smells when I remember to spritz it on. So I don't know why I don't reach for it often, because it smells great. And this is actually one that does really well in the warmer weather. It's been compared to, let me adjust this angle here. It's been compared to Donna Born in Roma, which I see that comparison. Definitely the same family, but not the same scent. But that one can get a little cloying to me when the weather warms up. So this is a good option to get that kind of, you know, sweet, easy pear orange blossom combo without feeling like, I don't know if there's pink pepper in this one, but there's pink pepper in Born in Roma, and that one starts screaming at me in the warm weather. So I want to give this one some more wears because every time I put it on, I'm always like, oh gosh, that smells so good. So I need to just wear it more often. The next one I'll be wearing, or hoping to get some wears out of, is Parfum de Marly. This is Safanad. This is another orange blossom fragrance, and it smells so good. I love it. I think there might be pear in this one too. I love pear in my fragrances. Orange blossom. I think there might be violet or iris in here. Maybe some vanilla. I'm not sure what notes are in here. I'll have to check later. But this is a really beautiful fragrance. It's not too strong. I think it works well year round. But you do get different notes opening up depending on the weather that you're having. So I wanted to get some more wears out of this. I wanted to have an orange blossom fragrance that was classy, elegant, sophisticated, but not going to be screaming at me now that the weather's warmed up a bit. So I will be hopefully getting some more wears out of that. The next one I'm going to put on my tray is going from my haul video that should be going up soon. And this was a birthday gift to me, but not from me to myself. This was a gift from somebody else. And this is Love by Kilian. This is the extreme version. So I've only spritzed this on once or twice just to kind of see how it smells. I'm not familiar with this fragrance yet. So I want to wear it in May because I thought this would be the perfect month to test it out, see how I like it, see how it wears in the heat, how it really differs from the original one. There so far is a brighter, fruitier kind of aspect to it that makes it feel fresher and lighter and better for hot weather. So I'm very excited to wear that this month. And the last one going on my tray, also from my haul video, this was a birthday present to me from myself. This is Maison Crivelli Hibiscus Mahajad. This is a fragrance that I sampled, I went over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Maybe it was that long. And this was a love at first sniff for me. Oh, it smells so good. There's hibiscus, there's rose, there's mint, there's leather. I can't remember what some of that, maybe like ambrette, vanilla. This is a beautiful fragrance. It's tropical, it's luxurious, it smells fancy and expensive, but also, again, refreshing. That hibiscus note reminds me of this hibiscus tea that I tried a long time ago. It's really beautiful, and so I'm excited to have a full bottle because I only really have experience from the sample, the little sample that I had, which was great. I used it up, but I'm glad to finally have a full bottle in my collection. And when I ordered my samples from Twisted Lily, because this is where I bought this fragrance from, it came with a 15% off code for a full bottle purchase. So I went through all my samples. I already knew I was going to get this one with the 15% off, but that's what I did. I finished up using the samples I had, and then when my birthday rolled around, I placed an order and got 15% off because this is a pricey fragrance, and I was not about to pay full price. That's not how I live my life. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So I'm excited to wear this in the month of May. So these are the fragrances I'm going to be reaching for in the month of May. If you have any recommendations for me, please leave them down in the comments below. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.